In the not-so-distant future, humanity's thirst for discovery leads them deeper into the unknown. But among the stars, some mysteries may be better left undisturbed. It all started with a single signal, a faint, rhythmic pulse that crackled through the static on an aging satellite monitor. The signal wasn't just random noise. It had a structure, a heartbeat, like a distant voice trying to make itself heard. No one had heard anything like it before. Dr. Elara Chen, one of Earth's top astrophysicists, had dedicated her life to finding intelligent life in the universe. She'd listened to the science of space for decades, hoping to hear something, anything. And finally, she had. Her team at the Deep Space Research Station immediately began analyzing the signal, trying to trace its origin. Days turned into weeks as the team scrambled to decode it. At first, it seemed like a distress signal, a cry from some distant, unknown civilization. But the signal wasn't steady. It grew in strength and then faded, as if it were on the move. It took days of calculations to pinpoint where it was coming from. They finally traced it to a mysterious object approaching from the outer edge of our solar system, something massive and fast-moving. The object was too large to be a ship, yet too controlled to be a natural object. It was about the size of a small moon, metallic, and covered in structures that seemed like alien technology. To the scientists, it felt like a moment out of a dream, or perhaps a nightmare. The world watched with bated breath as Dr. Chen and her team set up a live broadcast. Every network on Earth tuned in to see this arrival from another world. They called it the Visitor. It was all anyone could talk about. News channels were flooded with theories, and governments prepared for whatever or whoever might be inside. Then came the day of contact. The visitor's signal grew louder as it entered Earth's orbit. But it didn't come to attack. It simply hovered, casting a dark shadow over parts of the planet below. The world fell silent. Elara Chen, chosen to be the voice of Earth, opened a channel to the object, transmitting a message of peace and welcome. "We greet you as friends," she said, her voice steady. "We are the people of Earth. We mean no harm." But there was no reply, only silence. For days, Earth waited, breathless. People began to fear. Was it a warning? A judgment? Or were these beings simply waiting? Finally, the signal returned, stronger than ever. Dr. Chen's team detected it, but realized with horror that it wasn't directed at Earth. It was a broadcast, beamed far out into the galaxy, a call meant for someone or something else. They deciphered the signal just as it stopped transmitting, but the translation chilled them to the core. The message read, "Earth's coordinates confirmed. Awaiting orders." A tense silence fell over the research station. The crew exchanged worried glances. Had they unwittingly revealed Earth's location to something dangerous? As the days passed, Dr. Chen couldn't shake the feeling that they had crossed a line. Weeks went by, and then months, with no further signals, no change. People slowly returned to their lives, governments loosened their guards, and the world sighed in relief. But Dr. Chen knew better. She could feel it in her bones. Something was coming. She started leaving records, notes, and logs, a message for future generations. One night, months after the visitor had arrived, it left. Just as quietly as it had come, it slipped out of Earth's orbit and disappeared into the depths of space, the signal silenced once again. The world celebrated, thinking the threat had passed. But Elara Chen knew this was only the beginning. Years later, after Dr. Chen had grown old, a new message was detected, clearer and stronger than before. But this time, it wasn't from the visitor. It was from something larger. The signal blared through the speakers, louder and more powerful than any human-made device could handle. Before the equipment went dark, dear Chen and her team translated the words, their voices trembling. Coordinates received. We are coming. And that's where the story ends.